Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar, Breaking Down Barriers. We've got a really exciting run through the product this afternoon, and just before we get started, just want to touch on a couple of housekeeping rules. With regard to questions, you can ask questions in the question box. We're dedicating 5 minutes at the end of the session to answer these. Hopefully we've got some more time and we can dedicate a bit more time to that as well. We will be recording the session, and we will upload the session to the Professional Advantage YouTube channel and send you the link. By way of the agenda this afternoon, just a brief introduction by myself, Brian Tulsa. I'm a Business Development Manager at Professional Advantage with a focus on Microsoft Dynamics AX and Dynamics 365. Our presenters today will be Nicholas Cram, Solution Architect, Bradley Cattersaw, CRM Specialist, and Alzina Hotzek, our BI Specialist. Just by way of the running order, building blocks, we'll be running through some of the key elements that make up Dynamics 365, and then just wrapping it all off at the end by looking at some of the Power BI offerings within the application. Right, so where do we go from here? What is Dynamics 365 for Enterprise? Dynamics 365 is a cloud-based ERP and CRM enterprise system built by Microsoft for maximum flexibility and extensibility. So what does it really mean to us? With 365, Microsoft are not only involved in their product strategy and delivering new product, they're also reinventing the approach to pricing and packaging. Microsoft's plan has been to break down the silos of information so users don't have to go in and out of different applications. Dynamics 365 has a common data service. The common data service allows you to securely store and manage data within a set of standard and custom entities. An entity is a set of fields used to store data similarly to a table within a database. After your data is stored, you can use Microsoft Power Apps to build rich applications using your data. One of the key important aspects of Dynamics 365. Dynamics 365 is not replacing other Microsoft Dynamics ERP products. Traditional ERP offerings such as GP, NAV, SL, and AX are not being replaced. CRM is just undergoing an evolution. With the new offering, there is an introduction of Microsoft Power Apps and Flow. Power Apps connects you to the cloud services and data sources you're already using, giving basic business analysis specialists the ability to quickly build apps that suit their specific needs. Flow, automating workflows across a growing number of applications and SaaS services that your business users rely on. So what does it look like? On the left-hand side, we have a listing of the applications available within the Dynamics 365 offering. If we go across those, we can see the functionality that resides in that. Bradley and Nicholas will be touching on those in a little bit more detail as we go through our presentation. As you can see, operations listed below is really Microsoft Dynamics AX in the cloud version. What comes to bear as well is a new license structure. The applications can be bought individually, they can be bought in plans, and they can be extended to include both the CRM and the ERP functionality. So if we take a step back and break down these components, the applications, when individually bought, are priced differently to when they are bought on a plan. By encompassing both the CRM functionality as well as the ERP functionality, being operations, the operations part, it can be sold in a plan 2, which is more aimed at the enterprise user. It also brings to bear different licensing options for the application. We are introduced to a concept of light users or team members as well as the full users. These can be split across the applications using and taking advantage of the different functionality. So with that, and without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Nicholas Cram, who's going to give you an overview of what the Dynamics 365 applications look like.
Thank you, Brian. So I'm going to start by presenting Dynamics 365 for Operations, which is a complete enterprise-level finance and operations management application. The fundamental business logic of Dynamics 365 for Operations has reached a level of maturity after 20 years of evolution this year, and is able to cover the full gamut of the business operations from finance, human resources, through manufacturing, supply chain, procurement, sales, professional service automation, and even across the retail sector with an integrated POS application, call center, and e-commerce engine. And this is the first truly cloud-ready version of what was formerly known as Microsoft Dynamics AX. It has been reworked specifically to run on Microsoft's Azure Cloud Technology Stack. All of the rich existing functionality has been moved onto this up-to-date technological platform as it is. Dynamics 365 is a public-hosted, cloud-hosted solution, meaning continuous incremental updates. The application is kept current, so there are no longer application upgrades every 4 to 5 years. Version jumps have become a thing of the past, and in the case of the operations elements of the Dynamics 365 suite, this is enabled through the Lifecycle Service Portal, which is an application dedicated to deploying the solution, monitoring the solution, and as updates are released by Microsoft, controlling their installation according to the customer's own timeline. The most obvious strength of Dynamics 365 is its intelligent user interface, and this is run on any compatible web browser, including Chrome, iOS, Edge, or Internet Explorer, and this can be viewed on any device, be it phone, tablet, or desktop. What we will be talking about today is the seamless integration that this has enabled. I'm now going to jump to the Dynamics 365 for Operations user interface. So this is how AX now looks in its current version. This is the Dynamics 365 for Operations dashboard. And you can see to the left-hand side below the calendar we will have any notifications that may come through to the users. And further down we have a series of what we call workspaces that allow us to actually go in and accomplish individual tasks. So if I go into Retail Store Management as an example of one of those workspaces, what I will see is information on the left-hand side, which is summary information that is clickable, that I can go in and find out a little more about. I have a detail section in the middle, which may be in a list form, it may be cards, as you can see here, it may be graphic, it might be any sort of information that allows me to click through to those processes. And then onto the right-hand side, I have embedded Power BI tiles that I can add and remove as I require them. So each user can actually set up their own workspace so that they are accomplishing the tasks that they actually need to do. All of the information that is shown to the user is obviously controlled by the Dynamics 365 security framework, so that the user will not have access to data that they shouldn't have access to. Within the Office 365 offering, Dynamics 365 finds its place alongside Power BI, Power Apps, and Flow. We'll be talking about Power BI as a separate section at the end of this presentation. I'm going to just very briefly talk about Power Apps and Flow. So Microsoft Flow is a application which allows data to move between the various components of Dynamics 365, be it the operations, sales, or even the common data service that actually underpins this whole offering. We can also get alerts, for example, from even tweets, from SharePoint, and this offering is growing on a permanent basis. More and more interfaces into different applications you actually need to get that data from and get it to. Microsoft Power Apps is designed for mobile form factors, be that telephone, be that tablet, and the idea is to access the data that may come from any part of the Dynamics 365 suite in a simple and user-friendly manner. So we can see on the right-hand side one that I designed earlier as a customer overview. It is a list of customers that I can then click through and update, and that information will flow back into the application. I'm now going to hand over to Brad, who will talk through the CRM aspects of Dynamics 365.
Thanks, Nick. Just coming over for Dynamics 365 for Sales. So as you'll see up on the screen there, Dynamics 365 for Sales comes in a number of flavours. You can access it, as Nick was talking about, other applications previously, via phone or tablet app. So there is an app that comes with Dynamics 365. You can see what activities you have also available inside those apps. So what things you have as a salesperson scheduled. What you can also see while you're out in the field as a salesperson is other interactions that people inside your organisation have with those clients as well. Just being able to share that information across the overall organisation. So with these different apps, you can access that by the different offerings. So that can be Android, Apple or Windows 10 devices. And you can also access it via a browser. So you may access it via all the different browsers, be that Chrome, IE, Edge and the like. So again, Microsoft's coming to terms with sharing that information across different platforms. Now, by having your field sales people being able to access this data, it means that they no longer need to put contacts into their phones and then just have that sitting just in their phone. This means that they can actually have that data stored within the CRM and access that via the phone app, click the dial, and basically ring their key contacts and capture those communications. So again, just having that data centrally stored so everyone can access it rather than just having it stored on individuals' devices. So we can take that right through the sales process as well inside Dynamics 365, right through from a lead through the opportunity sales process, and also have dashboards and analytics around that as well, right through to the orders and invoice side of things as well. So I'll, if you have any questions later around Dynamics 365 for sales, we'll come back to that as well. Just going to move along. What also is sitting inside Dynamics, we have Dynamics 365 for field service. So this is suitable for installation, maintenance, or break fix. That may be preventative maintenance that needs to be scheduled. You may have that coming in through different methods. It may be coming in via a case inside Dynamics. So when a customer calls in with a customer issue, that could be recorded. You may have a knowledge base to look that up to see any specific items that may be required around that before any sort of work order is generated. From these work orders or a case being converted to a work order, you can then look to schedule resources. These resources can be scheduled and you can see availability and look at their skill sets as well. So with Inside Field Service, you can look and see the best resources and their availability via a calendar, as you can see up on the screen at the moment as well. Taking that down a little bit further, when you have people out in the field, you may also want to see, as you can see on the left-hand side there, you can see pins for the location of those field agents. So you can see their mobile location and then be able to schedule the right resource to the closest location. So improving your productivity for your resources and also customer satisfaction by being able to get those field resources to the client at the best time. It's going to come down a little bit further. So again, the same as what we have in the other applications, mobile devices. So our field techs out in the field can capture and receive those bookings that may come from the office and be able to record where they're at, how they're going along in servicing that product, right through to completion and actually invoicing out those as well. So just taking it right through the field service, and that is also coming through from that sales process we were talking about earlier. Taking it through a little bit further inside Dynamics as well, we have project service automation. So when the salesperson has won that deal, that information can also be passed through in the same system. So going through from a sales opportunity, moving into a project. So your project managers can start to look for resources, be able to schedule the right resources around that project. Now it does leverage existing other Microsoft products. So if you need to actually supply a project plan to your customer, you can have all that project information stored within Dynamics and be able to export that out to project and send that off to your customers as well. Further beyond that, as you actually start to manage through those projects, you can capture the tasks and the billings or the times against that to be able to capture those details and invoice the end customer as well. So just being able to capture those details from there, all this information can be analysed as well. So just giving a high level of project service automation. From the screens here, you can see inside Dynamics. You can see those details of that Gantt chart, and also behind that, you can see that capability to be able to export out to Microsoft Project. As with other products in the Microsoft range, it is tying in those existing building blocks, be that Project, Exchange, Alzina will talk about Power BI. So again, building on those building blocks that we talked about earlier. Coming through a little bit further, now we have our customers and we want to look after them. So we have the capability via customer portals, so customers can search up inside those portals, again on the browser, or as in via the web or via their phone, so they can look up knowledge-based articles and see the details, so they may be able to self-support in solving any issues they have. If not, as I said earlier, you can capture those as cases, so you have those customer support incidents. They can be captured. They may also be tracked, be that against service level agreements or entitlements. So you can capture those details and number of cases that have been captured, so they may purchase a number of entitlements. From that, you can move through those cases right through to resolution, and actually you may schedule those off to different resources, and as I said earlier, they could be converted into service cases and work orders that customers can go and deliver on. From there, you also have that analytics capability to be able to analyse that data. So I'll just pass back to Brian.
Yeah, thanks Brad, and thanks Nick for that overview. Just as you know, with all our webinars, I think we'd like to offer you guys the opportunity to reach out to us and for us to spend a bit of time with you so you can understand the offering a little bit more. So if you'd like to book a Dynamics 365 Enterprise assessment, you can email us or call us by the 31st of March and book a free 1-hour session. We'll come out to you guys, so we'll be on site. And really the objective of that is to gain an understanding of Dynamics 365 Enterprise and its different components, and uncover the opportunity to transition to the new offering. Although we've got it up there as the Enterprise assessment, if there are certain components that you are interested in, let it be the operational side, sales side, PSA, field services, we're quite happy to take your call, have a call with you, and really come out there and have a discussion. So you can do that by reaching out to us. You can email us at inquiries@pa.com.au, or give us a call on 1-800-126-499. Our existing client base, please work through our account managers, and they will pass on the information to us. So with that, I'm going to pass over to Alzina, and Alzina will be talking through the Power BI offering.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, team. So we have breezed through pretty quickly through some main components and building blocks of Dynamics 365. You appreciate there is quite a bit in it. And as Brian said, we do have this offer of this one-hour free assessment if you want to drill down into something more specific. We will be definitely running some additional webinars to focus around the specific areas to provide you more information. If you do have an interest and you do want to learn a little bit more about the specific areas that we mentioned, by all means, contact us, send us a feedback, or put a comment in the question and answer box, and we'll organize a further webinar. Today, what I want to do is take a little bit more time as well, just to drill down into the business intelligence or Power BI side of the things. You have had a quick glimpse of it when Nicholas showed you the Dynamics 365 operations dashboard. It is also very much embedded within the sales side of the things as well. So the Power BI itself is much more than just a couple of nice charts and dashboards that you can click through. So really want to focus a bit more to get understanding what that is and how you can use it and how you can get started at this session. Obviously, what's really important that within Dynamics 365 is entirely embedded in it, and so it does provide you, give you ability to actually see your analytical information together with transactional information and work within the same environment. You don't have to switch the screens. At the same time, from the Dynamics 365 workspaces, you can drill down directly into the Power BI workspaces itself and see the additional dashboards and the data that across your entire business, and I'm going to touch on that. Just looking at the business process insights within Dynamics 365, Obviously, it's always been important to be able to provide access to the information from our ERP and sales and CRM type of systems. We spend lots of time managing the information that we put in our systems. We spend lots of time putting the information in. So it's really important that your users have ability to actually get access to that information in a meaningful way, that they can get better insight and also make a decision and do their day-to-day tasks. And so within ERP systems, with Microsoft ERP systems, the GP and AX before, you always had different ways to get information out. Obviously, operational views were always there, where the specific business personas can create their views on top of the entities. They can find some insights. They can look at the patterns, or they can find some information they require and make do the action. Furthermore, there have always been, and they still are, out-of-the-box reports that come with the Dynamics 365 as well. So you have these out-of-the-box reports, and for example, around the financial side of the things, you have financial reports that are developed using some common account categories and common data structures that you can use as a starting point. And then you can use the designers to furthermore change those and make them your own, and you can publish organizational-wide P&L and balance sheet type of reports. And that's all great, but that gives you the information within Dynamics 365. And even if the systems that are so encompassing like Dynamics 365, that's not all the information that you ever have. You will obviously have additional information within your organization which you would like to take and would need to take into account when making business decisions. So I just want to spend a couple of minutes just taking a closer look of what Microsoft Power BI is and how that actually fits within your enterprise-wide landscape. As you can see here on this slide, it looks pretty busy, and people might sometimes pull back and say, hang on a second, it's quite hard, it's technical, and I don't understand it. So let me talk you through it, just talking about a specific business issue that we all find out in our organization and how Microsoft Power BI actually solves that, and so which components are meant to address these things. So let's first talk about the data. Data's everywhere. We're all collecting a large amount of data these days. And long gone are the days when you have all your business critical information in a central system of records that is centrally managed by IT. We do have this system still, and we do need them because we do have a predefined business processes that actually do require those systems. But we also have other information that comes into our organization. We have information that we get with our external partners, vendors, suppliers, customers. We have information that we might need to get from government and other governing bodies. So that information comes in all different forms, in different formats. We get different volumes. We also get it and store it in different places. So Dynamics 365 is in a cloud. If you do transition into Dynamics 365, you will have a large amount of your business critical information in the cloud. But you will still have some information, legacy information that might be on-premise. So you really need a system that can give you ability to actually take advantage of all of this information. So it's an opportunity for us to get a better insight of what we're doing, but also a challenge. So the Power BI, it's a modern platform. It is a platform. It is not just the charts that we see, but actually have capability to connect to a wide variety of the data sources, including those that are in the cloud, but also on-premise. So obviously, being the Microsoft product, it's highly integrated with Microsoft Cloud Solutions, Dynamics 365, Office 365, but even further with Microsoft Azure type of services like SQL Azure Database, Data Warehouse, Stream Analytics for real-time reporting. So that's out of the box. You can connect to it, and you can report live data straight away. It also gives you ability to connect to data on-premise. And while the data management gateways that are available as a free download for Microsoft Power BI, you can easily set that up, and you can stream the data from on-premise from various databases, SQL analysis services, into the Power BI, and merge that information with the information that comes, for example, with Dynamics 365. And Microsoft hasn't stopped there either, because on top of the Microsoft Cloud, there is also information out there that does not belong, that does not sit in the Microsoft Public Cloud. So there could be information that you might be, your marketing information might be in Google Analytics environment. You might have some development information in GitHub. You might have, you might want to access some social media type of information from LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, etc. So Microsoft has provided out-of-the-box connectors to tap into those data sources as well. And just to help you get started, they also have provided a number of online services that will allow you with just a subscription to any of those services to connect to the data and within a couple of minutes install a set of predefined reports and dashboards that will give you instant value. So that is for a large number of non-Microsoft Cloud services as well as Dynamics 365 and, for example, Project Online within the Office 365 as well. So we'll have a look, we'll have a quick chat about those a little bit later. So that's taking care of the data. Then we start looking at the people. People within our organization as our customers are also in our private life, we have technology at our fingertips. We have pay TV, we have mobile devices, we have NBN internet and fast internet. So when people come to work, what they also expect is a degree of self-service. It's not just enough to give your employees and your customers access to a predefined set of reports. There is an expectation of being able to load your own data, your group data, your organizational data, to actually have a look, create some temporary applications to maybe test an idea or question a status quo. So to do that, you really have to have a system that is simple enough for non-technical people to use it, but not trivial enough that it can't actually handle complex business scenarios. So what Microsoft does, it actually provides you with the business analyst tools, and you can choose. You can use Excel or you can use Power BI Desktop. I generally recommend go with Power BI Desktop because you're not dependent on the version of your Microsoft Office that you have, and they get the same capability. Where the most important thing is connecting to the data and transforming that information into a more business value way so that people can use. That part is really simplified to the Power Query that Power BI provides, where you can do some complex data manipulations and the data cleansing just using a set of menu options. Yes, of course, if you do have a complex scenario, you might need some technical help to also help you start it around that area, but there is quite a lot that the business analysts and semi-technical people can do in that respect. So moving further from that, now that we haven't taken care of the data and the ability to actually connect it, plug in into our own information, we also want to have a place that we can make a decision quickly, whenever we want, whenever we need, but also to be able to collaborate with other colleagues. And so in that respect, Microsoft Power BI Cloud Services, the website where the users can come in, they can connect with their data, they can publish their reports, they can create additional dashboards, they can easily share that with their colleagues, and they collaborate. Going further to that, and as Brad and both Nicholas and Brad actually mentioned, being a mobile and mobility platform is quite important because we do need to make decisions fast and we need to access everywhere. Microsoft Power BI website is based on cloud-based technology, HTML5, so you can use your favorite browser to access it. You don't have to worry about that. And there is also a set of free mobile application apps that you can download for Apple or Android, and the Windows apps that you can actually set up so you can get access to that business critical information that is streaming through Power BI to your mobile devices. And last but not least, circling back to Dynamics 365, Microsoft Power BI is tightly embedded with Dynamics 365, Office 365, for example. So that's for the users that are basically want to be able to look at their analytical information as when they are involved in the day-to-day tasks. So you can have them, you can get that information with your Dynamics 365 workspace or maybe your team site within the SharePoint. So really, it gives you Microsoft Power BI. It's a tongue twister, this one, isn't it? Microsoft Power BI, it really gives you a great platform to first take advantage of what's within the Dynamics 365, but also to take it further and basically implement enterprise-wide business intelligence solution. So when you're looking at the Dynamics 365 and you're looking at intelligence around it, also take it into account your overall business intelligence strategy. I know it's all sometimes intimidating because it's a quite powerful platform and you can do quite a lot. So what your approach to deploying Power BI within Dynamics 365 and overall does not have to be a big bang initiative. What I do is suggest is to take things in stages. So first of all, again, I mentioned before that there are content packs that Microsoft provides, which gives you out-of-the-box set of reports and dashboards for you to get started within Dynamics 365. And they're a great starting point. And with a little bit of training and understanding what they are and understanding of what Dynamics 365 can offer and data entities there, you can also customize them to get them a little bit more your own dashboards and reports as opposed to just generic ones. It's a great starting point. And we have 5 out of the box at the moment available, and Microsoft is always adding additional ones. So from Dynamics CRM or Dynamics 365 for sales, you have Sales Manager Content Pack, which will basically give you ability to look at your leads and opportunities, your sales performance. You can see what opportunities you won versus ones that you lost. You can look at the conversion rate. You can look at the sales performance, top accounts, what's being sold. So that's a great content pack to get started. Then we have a Service Manager Content Pack, which is all around that customer support. So you're going to look at activities that are happening around the service requests. You can look at the top accounts that are taking advantage of your customer service. You can look at the requests that have been escalated, etc. So again, a really good starting point to get analysis of the data within the Dynamics 365 for sales. Going to operations, 3 very useful content packs. Financial Performance Content Pack, which is pulling the data around the finance side of the things. So you can look at the financial ratios, net profits, again, what's been sold. You can look at the assets values, etc. So those are content packs that are available. Retail channel performance is all around the sales. But if you have a retail module, you have stores. So you can look at the stores performance and the sales performance across territories, channels, etc. And the cost management content pack, which is all around the cost management. So we're talking about inventory turnover, your cost information, your purchasing information, etc. So again, it gives you a very good starting point with deploying and using the Power BI and BI overall within the Dynamics 365. You can also supplement that with other online service content packs that are currently available out of the box, as I mentioned, Google Analytics, potentially GitHub or projects online from Office 365, etc. So you can already start doing a little bit more and expanding your foray and your journey to the business intelligence side of the things with a very little effort with the Dynamics 365. So as I mentioned, getting started, it's really important that you don't approach that as a big bang initiative. As it always is, and naturally with us as the humans, we first learn how to crawl, then we walk, and then we can run. So what I really would suggest, if you do want to start with Microsoft Power BI, within Dynamics 365 or overall, just outside of it, a couple of things that you need to keep in mind. Choose the right implementation partner, so someone that actually understands what business intelligence is all about, not just someone that has written a couple of reports and maybe can create a chart using a self-service capability. You can do that on your own. Start with Dynamics 365 content packs if you have Dynamics 365 or Office 365, because it's going to give you a great starting point, great foundation to start developing. Get some training, so you basically get some basics and best practices from the beginning and understand how things are actually working, how things fit together. Let people experiment with some of the data. So get them play with data and develop a data culture within your organization. And then start thinking about expanding and focus on a thing at a time. Pick a specific business issue or business challenge or business area that you do want to work around. Define what do you want to achieve, what data do you need to achieve that, do you have that data, who needs to be involved, and start building things. Deploy that, and then start on the next one. That is the best way. The capabilities around business intelligence should be developed all the time. That will allow you to actually get the better user adoption, but you also get the justification for the next and for the next stages of your process. So really, that's one of the. If you remember anything that, out of my side of the presentation around the power of the BI, it is to start in stages, choose the right implementation partner, and take advantage of what's already built out of the box, so you can really, get a quick time to value and then expand. So to help you in that sense, similarly what Brian has and the Dynamics 365 team has on offer, we also would like to extend an offer to attendees of this session to book a free 2-hour on-site assessment. So we will come and talk to you about what is Microsoft BI. So we could look potentially beyond just Power BI, discuss all the different components and offerings. We'll talk to you and discover the opportunities for you to achieve more with Power BI. So we could find, maybe together we might discover some use cases where the BI would fit in the best way to help you solve business challenges. At the end of that session, we'll reach a mutual agreement if there is a case for us to continue talking or not. So you really have nothing to lose. If you want to explore the possibilities of what's out there and how that can apply specifically to you, please give us a call. So we're giving you about a month's time to do so. And give us a call or send us an email. If you are an existing customer and you do have an account manager, by all means contact us that way. It doesn't matter how you do contact us. If you do want to take advantage of this, we will be quite happy to come on site and have a chat and take a closer look of what you have and how we can better expand the business value of your data with your organization.
Right. Great. Thanks, Alzina. Thank you for your input. Just to reiterate and stress the fact that these assessments that we are offering are obligation-free. It's an education process as well, so you can understand what the offerings are. It doesn't mean it will come out there that you're committed in terms of going and moving on to the product, but really just giving you that opportunity as well to do that assessment and see the value for your business. We've had a couple of questions come in, and I'm just going to tick off maybe 2 or 3 of those. And then again, as I said, if there are any other questions or questions that you don't want to share within the forum, please just reach out via the same email address that was previously up there, inquiries@pa.com.au, and we'll make sure that we answer those directly with you if you don't want them shared. All right, just one question, one of the questions that came up, it's really just dealing with the license transition for existing CRM Online and other ERP products within Microsoft ERP products. What is the transition plan with that, and whether or not we're going to be running a session to cover that off. The answer to that is yes. We'll look at that in a little bit more detail because that's quite a structured process that we've got to go through, and I think, to give it the respect that it needs, we'll run a separate session for that. Right, just a question with regard to functionality, both on AX or operations and CRM. So Nicholas, this is a question for you. It's about the functionality. Is the functionality in operations the same as Microsoft Dynamics AX?
Hi Brian, yes. So that is a clear yes, and much of the functionality that is now being built within Dynamics 365 for operations is being backported to AX 2012 R3 version. So that is ISO functional, yes.
Okay, cool. And then the same applies to the CRM side of it, breaking these down into the different applications. Is any functionality lost within the process?
Moving from Dynamics CRM Online, the functionality is the same in the Dynamics 365 offering. There are now additional offerings as part of Dynamics 365, also for the online customers, being voice of the customer and the portal. So there are additional pieces of functionality available online. Those releases do come out every 6 months, so new releases for online, and the on-premise is still there, so every 12 months for those on-premise releases with that functionality.
Right, thank you, Brad. One question that just come in now, just regarding Power BI. It says, is Power BI part of the licensing structure? If not, what is the, how is that applied? So if you want to just tap into that one.
The Power BI licensing is can be part of the Dynamics 365 licensing, or you can also acquire it as a separate, just the Power BI subscription itself. So it is something that comes within the Dynamics 365 itself, and it can be a part of the plan when you are selecting a different applications you want to include. But if you do want to subscribe, sometimes you might want to have less number of users in Dynamics 365 compared to the Power BI. You can purchase additional Power BI only licenses for the users that might not be working in the Dynamics 365 environment. So they're quite flexible in that respect.
Right. No, thanks for that, Alzina. And I think what it lends itself to, just in terms of that answer that Alzina has given, you have got the ability to, if you are wanting more information on the Power BI offering, it doesn't have to be bundled within the 365 Enterprise bundle, but rather can be looked at as a standalone.
So there's another question come through, which is there a WMS and TMS? And the answer is yes, and that has been around for over 4 years now, since it was brought into the AX 2012 offering. So in Dynamics 365 for Operations, we have a full warehouse management suite and a full transportation part to that suite, so we can actually use that. There is a new mobile app that has come out specifically for the warehousing aspect. So previously it was working off a browser, now it's a dedicated app that will increase the robustness of that solution. And from the TMS side, there is obviously the full range of what you'd expect from a transporting solution in terms of managing your freighting charges, managing your loads, and the whole shipment process.
Right. Just one other question that's just come in, and I think sort of lends itself to what Nick was just saying about the mobility piece. It really just, the question is around mobility within the suite. By getting involved with Dynamics 365 for Operations or on either the plans, including CRM, are we more mobile? That is the...
Are we more mobile in general on Dynamics 365? Most definitely, yes. I think obviously the very first thing that you can say is that it's whatever application, whatever parts, whatever components of Dynamics 365 we're looking at, the basic access method now is through a browser. And then in terms of the different form factors, be it telephone, tablet, or whatever, these apps have been created, and those are both the more specific apps that we have for Dynamics 365 for sales, field services. For operations, we have a specific app that can be also deployed for operations, and then we obviously have Power Apps itself, which allows you to go in and actually look at all of that data once again on any form factor in a more combined way.
Right, I think just one last question has come in. It's the WMS has functionality like interleaving, resource management, ASN, etc.
Yes, absolutely. So in terms of what the WMS actually has in it, we can go a very long way with that. From cluster picking within the actual warehouse itself, the ASNs, we can get them in, we can send them out. So if we're going to be receiving a purchase order, we can actually be receiving that ASN in first, and then receiving off of that ASN rather than receiving off of a purchase order number.
Okay. And I think we're just mindful of time as well. Last one to wrap it off is on the CRM part, is there online offline capability?
So for mobility, I'm guessing that's the question there.
For mobility, yep.
So within the online offering for Dynamics 365, you can have that offline as well. For the field service, it has also offline capabilities, so both online and offline for the field service side, and then the other one when you have Dynamics 365 for sales and the like. Online, you would have the offline capabilities as well.
Right, thank you, Brad. Once again, I just want to thank our subject matter experts this afternoon, Alzina, Nicholas, and Brad, thank you very much for your time, the effort that you put into this, for your knowledge, but also for everyone who's attended. We really take that to heart and really appreciate the fact that you've made the effort to come out there. Once again, just reach out to us. We are here. We are at your service. We want to provide the best that we can for you. So any questions that you do have, please direct them through the appropriate channel. Inquiries at pa.com.au. Telephone number 1800-126-499. We'll speak to your account manager. Thank you very much, everyone. Good afternoon and have a great day.